I've succeeded in becoming my own worst enemy, the Bandit.
Smokey is the Bandit, Part 3.
In 1977, a movie was released that changed pop culture forever. And that was the second highest grossing movie of the year, Smokey and the Bandit.
From Georgia to Texas and back in 28 hours flat with a truckload of bootleg beer.
I'll be driving this one. Hey, blocker. You'll be driving the truck. This is Bandit 1, and that is Bandit 2.
Now, who would do a thing like that?
Starring Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed, Sally Field, and comedy legend Jackie Gleason as Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
I gotta barbecue your Bandit. I've got a Smokey report for you.
What's your handle, son?
My handle's Smokey Bear, and I'm tail grabbing your ass right now.
The movie was a huge hit, and in 1980, the main cast was back for another run.
We're gonna barbecue his...
Come on, Trigger! Don't let me down now!
This time adding a pregnant elephant, Dom DeLuise, you had Smokey and the Bandit 2. The sequel wasn't as well received as the first go-around, but it was still a major hit.
In Smokey and the Bandit, Part 2. The movie that proves once again it's not what's in your trunk that counts, it's who's on your tail.
Not only was the story a lot weaker this time around, the fun felt in the original just wasn't there. Even Burt Reynolds himself says he wasn't thrilled about making the movie. He felt Universal was just making it to make money and didn't care about the story or the quality of the film. However, it did become the 8th biggest grossing movie of 1980. So soon, Universal Pictures was back knocking on Burt Reynolds' door, hoping for a third Smokey and the Bandit film. But this time, Burt Reynolds wasn't going to have any part of it. He had no desire to return as the Bandit. His love interest, Sally Field, also turned down the role. So what would Universal Films do? How can they do a sequel to Smokey and the Bandit without the Bandit? Could they replace Burt Reynolds 2 pictures in? The producers went to work trying to think of a way to bring back Smokey and the Bandit without Burt Reynolds. Luckily, they were able to get one of the original cast members agreed to sign on. The Bandit may not have been on board for a sequel, but Smokey was. Jackie Gleason did agree to return for the third film. But even with Smokey, the producers were still struggling on how to do this film without Burt Reynolds. After all, the Bandit made Burt Reynolds a household name, and Burt Reynolds made the Bandit a household name. You couldn't see doing a third film without Burt Reynolds. He had to be recast, and the producers and Universal felt there was only one actor that could replace Burt Reynolds as the Bandit. So they went with the one star that signed up already, Jackie Gleason. That's right, the producers signed on Jackie Gleason to not only play Smokey, but this time he would play the Bandit. And the third film would be called Smokey is the Bandit. This was a crazy idea for a film for sure. But in 1982, production started on the third movie. Everything was going great. The producers liked it. The studio liked it. They felt even without Burt Reynolds, they had another Smokey and the Bandit hit on their hands. In 1983, months before the release of the film, Universal decided to release it to a test audience to see what audience thought of this major change in the series. This was the test. Will the audience accept Jackie Gleason in both title roles? It doesn't seem like it, as the test audience all hated it. And overall, they said they were very confused about Jackie Gleason being the Bandit and the Sheriff. To the audience watching this film, the whole movie didn't make any sense. This was not the reaction that the producers and Universal hoped for. But what were they to do? They only had a few months left until the August release date. Could they scrap the whole thing and lose millions of dollars? Something had to be done. So the producers quickly got on the phone and reached out to another co-star of the film that turned them down earlier. The plan was to reshoot all the Gleason scenes as Bandit with Jerry Reed now playing the Bandit. Maybe this wasn't the best thing they could come up with to fix the film. Seems like the whole thing needed to be rewritten, but they didn't have enough time. But at least this made more sense than Jackie Gleason playing Smokey and the Bandit. The Jerry Reed reshoots was rushed into production. And on August 12, 1983, The retitled sequel, now called Smokey and the Bandit 3, was released in the theaters.
The Bandit is back. And wherever he goes and whatever he does, one thing is sure to follow. Sheriff Buford T. Justice. A name that inspires respect in the heart of every American.
As of this instant, Junior, we're in hot pursuit.
The film was hated by critics and fans. This will be film director Dick Lowry's first theatrical movie and last. It seemed all across the board everyone hated it, and it was a major flop. The movie only grossed $7 million, $2 million less than a $9 million budget.
But it ain't over yet.
They never learn.
Smokey and the Bandit. Part 3.
Hot damn y'all, I swear.
It was clear. Universal had a bomb on his hands. But is this story true? Was there really a Smokey is the Bandit with Jackie Gleason playing both roles? This story became somewhat of an urban myth. There were no scenes from the film ever shown. No one ever saw clips of Jackie Gleason playing the Bandit. Seems those involved with the production never really went on record talking about it. But it seemed a lot of people knew someone that knew someone that knew someone that worked on the film. That was until the early 2000s, when finally a photo of Jackie Gleason dressed up as the Bandit came up online. It showed Jackie Gleason in the Burt Reynolds Bandit red shirt, cowboy hat, and the famous mustache. And here it was, a photo that confirmed the long myth. Smokey is the Bandit. Could this have been just some photo of Jackie Gleason fooling around, dressing up like the Bandit? Maybe it's just one scene from the film. After all, the photo is not from the film itself. It looks like a promotional photo. So we still didn't know for sure if the movie was all about Smokey dressing up like the Bandit. There was still a lot of talk from people out there that swear they saw a teaser trailer for Smokey is the Bandit. And then in 2010, out of the blue, a teaser trailer for Smokey is the Bandit turned up on YouTube. Now, it didn't show any scenes from the film. It was just Jackie Gleason standing in front of a big American flag, kind of doing a patent imitation, talking about the film and how to beat the Bandit, he's going to have to become the Bandit. At the end of this trailer, we get the title of the film, Smokey is the Bandit.
I finally figured out a way to trap him. I have put myself in his place. Also his boots, and his shirt, and his hat, and his coat, and his mustache. In short, I have succeeded in becoming my own worst enemy, the Bandit. So if you think the first two go-rounds was something, you just watch my smoke this time. Some bitch.
This has been Buford T. Justice, asking you to support your local sheriff, because nobody else will. Smokey is the Bandit, Part 3.
And this seemed to confirm the long myth that there was a movie with Jackie Gleason playing Smokey and the Bandit. We may not have scenes from the film, but we had the production photo of Jerry Gleason dressed up like the Bandit, and we had the teaser trailer with the title Smokey is the Bandit. It was pretty clear now that the myth we all heard was true. But what was the story of this film? How are they going to make Jackie Gleason play the Bandit and the sheriff? Well, in 2016, on the Internet Movie Database message forum, someone finally posted the script to Smokey is the Bandit. The script is almost the same from the released film. It seems all they did is reshot all the Bandit Jackie Gleason scenes with Jerry Reed. Nothing much changed in the film. On page 32 of the script, a sexy woman exits the shower, enters the bedroom, and then the camera slowly pans up to reveal Jackie Gleason dressed as the Bandit. He doesn't say anything, but just gives that famous Burt Reynolds Bandit giggle. The odd thing about this script, and I guess the film, is no one in the movie finds it odd or questions that Jackie Gleason is the Bandit. They play it straight, like everyone believes this is Burt Reynolds as the Bandit. No one questions it, no one makes fun of it, no one even notices that he doesn't look like Burt Reynolds or that he looks just like the sheriff. And Ollie, throughout the whole film, Jackie Gleason, as the Bandit, has no speaking lines. He doesn't say anything until the end. And when he finally does speak, it's a quote from Gone with the Wind. "Frankly, Dustin, I don't give a damn." Who was Dustin? Dustin was one of the female characters in the film. In the movie, Dustin worked at a car dealership, but for some reason in the script, she's a radio DJ. This would change during the reshoots is unclear. It seems like a minor difference, and it was probably changed during the original filming. Reading the script is pretty confusing, and I can only imagine that for an audience seeing the test screening of this, it had to be extra confusing. Being able to actually see Jackie Gleason as the Bandit, and then in other scenes, seeing him as Smokey, and no one even bringing it up like it's a thing. It's very odd. You can see how the audience hated the movie and were confused. Sadly, the original cut of the film has never been seen. Rumor is that it's owned by the Jackie Gleason estate, who refuses to release it. We've never seen an actual clip of Jackie Gleason as the Bandit. The closest we ever got was the production photo of Gleason dressed as the Bandit. However, if you watch Smokey and the Bandit 3, you will notice whenever they show the stunt driver, he's a lot bigger than Jerry Reed. He is dressed like the Bandit, but he isn't slim like Jerry Reed. He's more the size of Jackie Gleason. It seems they didn't reshoot the stunt scenes, hoping no one would notice. So that's as close as we've ever seen to clips of Smokey is the Bandit. As bad as this film sounds, I sure would love to see it. It seems like it would be great in that bad kind of way. Hopefully one day, whoever owns the original cut will release it. It would make a great extra for a DVD. But it seems likely we'll never see Smokey is the Bandit. Unless maybe you're in heaven, because it seems Albert Einstein did see it.
Movies? Smoke! Smokey and the Bandit 3! Smokey is the Bandit!
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit thumbs up so I know you like my content, and let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see the cut of Smokey is the Bandit? I know I would. Take us out of here.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.